fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Needlenose from the Transformers Legacy Evolution line from Hasbro. So this is our third and final Decepticon Junior Target Master, so it's finally nice to complete the trio. We have some really nice artwork here of Needlenose in vehicle mode on the front, and then we have some nice artwork of the robot mode over here on this side, and then over here we have that kind of half of the giant mural picture for Evolution. Not really too much going on down here on the bottom, but they have moved the QR code for the tech specs here to the top. And then if we spin around to the back, we get some nice product shots of the robot mode and the vehicle mode. And then we see his two little Target Master Junior partners, Sunbeam and Zigzag. And apparently the Evo Fusion gimmick is just to stack one on top of the other. So we'll take a look at all that. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here are our three Decepticons out of the packaging. I guess we'll take a quick look at Zigzag and Sunbeam here first. I think they both look pretty good. They did a nice job, really nice molded detail. The paint applications look really good. I do like how he has a gun molded into his hand, although he'll be able to do nothing but shoot himself in the foot with it, as he has no articulation whatsoever. Very reminiscent of the original Junior Target Masters in the way that they were just molded little figures, and then the gun barrel just flipped around from the back, and these work exactly the same way. So, I get it. Again, it's very much like the Target Master that came with Point Blank. Because of the budget and having to put two in here with one deluxe figure, they had to be a little rudimentary, but I actually think they're kind of fun. There's something charming about them. Like I said, very reminiscent of the original toy, and it's kind of fun in that regard. Kind of nostalgic. I know toy technology has come a long way since then, but it's kind of a fun little throwback. And like I said, they are really nicely detailed and painted. So Sunbeam looks pretty good there. And then here is Zigzag. Now, it appears that they molded it completely in purple plastic and then painted the entire thing black. I'm assuming the two of these are on the same sprue and they did them both in purple. But unfortunately, I feel like over time, this black paint here is going to flake off. We'll see how it holds up. Got some nice yellow here. It honestly almost looks like they dipped the entire thing in black and then painted the yellow over the black, which is also kind of an interesting choice. But it is what it is. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. The face is nicely detailed. And then again, he just transforms by flipping the barrels here to the front. And then for the Evo Fusion gimmick, you can peg this one on top of the other one. So, Evo Fusion! I mean, it's fine. The originals could do that as well. Not that exciting, but, you know. Like, it's nice that they can do it. I just don't know that I would tout it as a huge gimmick and advertise it on the back of the packaging. I don't think it's that exciting, but I think they turned out okay. Honestly, I think for what they are, and for having to pack two in here with a deluxe figure, I think they actually did a pretty good job. They are charming in their ineffectiveness, I guess I'll say, for lack of a better term. Something about them just being giant bricks is kind of fun for a change. I know that sounds stupid, but it's kind of true. So I'm going to put them off to the side for the moment, and we will take a closer look here at Needlenose. I think he looks pretty good. Yes, he does have a lot of kibble here on the back. Pretty much the entire jet mode is just hanging here off the back. It would have been nice if this could have flipped around 180 degrees. Again, I don't remember how the original toy was, so maybe they're trying to stay accurate to the original toy, and that's why it transforms this way, which is very possible. But it would have been nice if this could have flipped around 180 degrees. It would have compacted a little bit more onto the back. As it is, it still doesn't really get in the way of articulation all that much. The wings really do that. It's not so much the nose cone that gets in the way, it's the wings. So it's, you know, not really the nose cone's fault. But he looks good. I really like the head sculpt. I think they did a nice job there. I like the kind of night visor he's got going on there. Really nice red for the eyes. The yellow's really sharp. I like the Decepticon symbol here on the chest. And the head is a little bit darker gray than the rest of the figure, which I don't mind. I feel like it stands out a little bit more against the rest of the light gray, so I actually kind of like it. The wings can come all the way forward if you want, so if you like that look better, you can absolutely do that. I kind of like to just angle them back a little bit just to kind of free up this space, and I just think it looks a little better to angle back like that. Now, the directions show that you have to peg this piece in, but in the box, mine came pre-attached, but if for whatever reason you ever wanted to unpeg this and just use that as a port to connect one of the Junior Target Masters, you absolutely could do that. But this just pegs right in there, and you can just leave it in there the whole time. Nice paint applications here on the nose cone. I believe this whole piece is molded in blue, and then they had to paint the gray on top, and then obviously the red for the cockpit here. But I feel like they did a pretty decent job of matching the paint. I feel like that kind of matches the gray plastic pretty well, so can't really complain there. Some nice paint applications down here. I really like this kind of metallic teal. I think that looks really sharp. And then you have a little bit of dark gray here as well. Yeah, he's a little plain, but I think he does look good. It's a nice color combination. And overall, it's almost kind of like a less is more situation here. But he works. I mean, he looks plain, but I like him a lot. Head can move side to side, no problem. You can look down a little bit. Can't really look up all that much because the head kind of hits back into this piece here. You can tilt ever so slightly side to side. You have a nice rotation here at the arm. If you have the wings tilted back, you can pretty much get all the way around. Nice hinge there, about 90 degrees. Bicep swivel. He's actually got a double jointed elbow because of transformation, so really nice bit of articulation there. And then you do have a wrist swivel as well, which is nice. He also has a waist swivel, which is a little difficult to get at because, you know, you're kind of hitting into the kibble here on the back. But you absolutely can use his waist swivel there. He can kick really far out to the side and really far forward. I mean, even more than 90 degrees. But when you start to go back, you start to hit into those wings back there. You do have a thigh swivel. I would say over 90 degrees, again, because of the transformation, but still, nice range of motion there. And then, of course, you have an ankle tilt, and then you have front to back as well because of transformation. So a lot of nice movement in the ankle. And a lot of times I do accidentally knock this off. It's not a big deal, it just pegs right back on there. But yeah, he's got some really nice articulation, honestly. He doesn't really have heels. I was looking for a piece to kind of flip out, but I don't really feel like you need him. He stands pretty well. Even though he has a backpack, he's not super back heavy, which is nice. And then we will go ahead and transform his Junior Target Masters here. And I kind of wish, I know this would look kind of weird, but I wish they would have at least not painted the handle, because I feel like that's definitely just going to rub off over time. But we'll see how it holds up. And then this one's no problem because this is just purple plastic. So there you go. You got his two guns there. And then we got to do an official Decepticon Junior Target Master group shot here with Spinister and Quake. And they look pretty good together. I think Spinister definitely still holds up. We probably could use a new Quake at some point, since this is just reusing the hard head mold, and this one's a headmaster for some reason, while the other two are not, and Quake's not supposed to be a headmaster, but he'll do for now. I feel like let's get through the Autobot Junior Target Masters first before we start redoing Decepticon ones. We always seem to get through the Decepticon Target Masters fast. I mean, we don't even have all the regular Autobot Target Masters, and we've already got all the Decepticon regular Target Masters and Junior Target Masters, and we're not finished either team for the Autobots. We got Scoop a long time ago. He's an Autobot Junior Target Master back in, like, Thrilling 30 or whatever that line was called back then when they were doing all the IDW comics. And he still kind of holds up. He's somewhere. I got to dig him out now. But yeah, he still kind of holds up, but we're missing at least like one Autobot Target Master and two Autobot Target Master Juniors. But we got both sets for the Decepticons here. I think these three look pretty good together. Like I said, Quake's a little bit of the odd man out, but overall, I still think the three of these look pretty cool. Alright, so getting into transformation. Transformation for this guy is really pretty simple. You're going to turn the arms at the bicep out to the side 90 degrees, and that's because there is a large tab right here which is going to peg into this spot right here using that double jointed elbow. So just bring this up and peg that into the side like so. And now it just kind of looks like he's trying to bench press or something. We're going to flip this chest section down. We are going to flip the head inside and then flip up this section here. And then you're going to rotate the arms in like this at this hinge right here. So just go ahead and do that. And then you're going to close this up. And it says that these tabs are going to tab in here somewhere. They don't really. They just kind of like go over top of the tabs that are already in here. And so they just kind of, although I guess they do kind of go into these spots back where they were. So it's just kind of a friction thing. Basically, these are going to go back into the spots they were in, but now they'll kind of hold these in place. So they don't especially tab in there, but they kind of hold that all in place. So you really could probably still bring the arms down without opening the chest if you wanted to. But at this point, I'm going to kind of rock this back. This whole piece here is on a hinge. So I'm just going to bring that up and get that out of the way. We're going to take the legs and kind of straighten them out. And then you're going to turn them inside at the thigh 90 degrees because this whole hollow section is actually going to come up and go over the arms. So you can see that there's a big tab right here. That's going to tab in right there. And then the arms are going to go into the empty cavity of the legs. So make sure this isn't in the way and then bring this up. And there's a really, there's a slit here and there is a little tab inside the leg. It's very recessed right there. And that's going to go in there, but it doesn't always work the best, but that's supposed to go up in there. So we'll close this back up like this. And then you're going to fold the feet in like this. Now, these don't tab into each other. I kind of wish they did, but unfortunately they do not. But you can see that they do have tabs on the top, which are going to tab into these two spots right here. And then you're going to, there's two tab spots under here that are going to tab onto these two tabs. So this whole section will rock back, and then you just have to tab it all in together. So, and you can start to bring this out and bring the wings down. So this will tab in and then make sure these are lined up. And it's kind of a pain to make sure everything stays in place while you're tabbing it all in. But once you're done, it's pretty solid. And then you're just going to bring, if you still had this up like this, you would just bring this down now and click this into place as well. And there we go. We have Needlenose in vehicle mode. Looking pretty good. Make sure that's all tabbed in together there. Again, it's kind of basic, but I like it. You have some really nice, like I said, this is the molded blue. Painted the cockpit here, and then you can see this gray is painted, but it actually matches the other gray pretty well. I'm surprised how well it matches. When you just look at it quick, I mean, you can kind of tell it's painted, but it really does match pretty well. You have some nice metallic paint here on the wings. Decepticon symbol paint looks good. He doesn't have any landing gear or anything. He doesn't really need it. He just kind of sits there. And of course we can bring the guns back in and they will peg onto these spots here. So they have a little peg hole on the back. So that will peg in there. And then this one really you can take your pick, peg it into either one of these. I like to peg it into the back one just because then it kind of matches the other one in terms of how far it sticks out. So he can have both guns equipped on the wings there like so. Or they have another gimmick for these, which I don't personally like all that much, but I will show it off. So you have to unpeg this section back here, unclip it from the feet, and then you have to open the feet back up. And they'll just kind of sit here off to the side like this. And then you take the two guns and you peg them back in like you're doing the Evo Fusion gimmick. And then these two spots right here will peg into where the feet were pegged in right there. And so you can peg this in the back. And I guess this is supposed to be like rocket power, or I don't know why. I guess just maybe you could shoot enemies behind you. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything for me. When you take the feet out of there, it really loosens all this up, and it doesn't stay in place as well as it should. So I'd rather just have the feet pegged into that spot to keep the vehicle mode more secure. But it is a feature that they show off, so I wanted to at least show it to you guys. You can mount these on the back. It's not the worst. It's not the best. Personally, I would rather just have the feet pegged back in here to really keep this nice and secure. So let's get that. I think it's because they have like the ankle tilt and everything. It's hard to make them stay in place when I want to peg them in. Come on now. There we go. Just really keeps everything nice and secure in place when you have those pegged in. So it's a fairly basic transformation, but I think it works. And it's a pretty decent little jet. I actually really like Needlenose a lot. When I first saw pictures of him, I thought he was kind of basic, but he's really kind of grown on me. I like the robot mode. It is kind of simplistic, but it works. I think it's a nice color scheme. Yes, it is a lot of gray, but the colors they chose to go with it and accent it really do kind of lift it up. I think the vehicle mode is pretty cool. The transformation is a little basic, but it makes it easy to go back and forth between the two modes pretty easily. I do like the two little Target Master Juniors. Yes, they are very basic as well, but they're kind of charming in their like retro feel, I guess is a way to say it. They're very reminiscent of the original toys that were just little molded figures that just had a little barrel of a gun rotate from the back, and that was the only transformation. So they're very, very reminiscent of the original toys, and that's kind of fun and nostalgic in a way. So I like them. Like, yes, they could be, you know, very much more articulated. And if you want, you could kind of swap them out with some, you know, random Battle Masters from Siege or something like that. You'll see in the group shot that I did earlier that I've given those kind of Target Masters to Quake and Spinister because those guys did not come with any Target Master partners. I know for Spinister specifically, they did release his partners with other sets. So those are the partners, like the names of the characters that came with him back in the day, but they were just released in other sets. So I think, not Fracas, I can't remember their individual names. Fracas, I think, goes with Scourge. In any case, so like you could kind of track down his from other sets, but they still look kind of giant and bulky. And for Quake, I just kind of gave him two random Target Masters just so he would have some. But there is something to be said about these. They're a little bit sleeker. Yes, they're kind of ridiculous in the robot mode, but I think they look better in gun mode because of that. They're not as bulky and ridiculously gigantic as the Battle Masters from Siege. But yeah, I like the robot mode. I like the Target Masters. I like the vehicle mode. There's really not too much to complain about this guy. I think he's actually kind of the sleeper hit of the wave. And I definitely recommend checking them out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.